Yes, hello everyone. I hope I'm audible, right? Just give me the confirmation in the chat box. Yes, hello everyone. Good evening. So just let me share my screen, right? Give me a second. All right, all right. Just give me a second. Let me just adjust my mic, right? Yeah. Okay. So yes, good evening everyone. I welcome you to day 2 of the HTML and CSS bootcamp, right? I hope you all are doing great. I hope you had a good day so far, right? And hello, good evening, everyone. Good evening, right? Good evening. Okay, thanks for the confirmation, right? I hope my screen is also visible properly. It's shared, right? Okay. Yes, let me just open the chat box. Just give me a second. Yes. Okay. So before we get started with today's topics, right? So any doubts from the previous day? Anything you want to ask related to HTML, related to CSS, or anything for that matter? Right? You can just ask me your doubts. Is the certificate can be put in ABC Bank? What's ABC Bank, Prabhat? I'm not able to get that part. Can you please come again? What do you mean by ABC? I mean, is it a kind of a bank or something? No doubt. So, okay. What about others? Any doubt? So, how do we add HTML? What is HTML? Why is HTML used for? Right? What are the websites that we can make to sir, I'm not able to submit assignment and yesterday attendance. Khushi, there was no assignment yesterday. If you were a bit concerned about the assignment, right? Assignment you'll be having today. And as far as the attendance is concerned, if you are facing an issue, right, just take a screenshot for that and just paste it in your Telegram groups, right? So and the team will let you know if there is any technical glitch. Otherwise, it should be working fine. Okay. Okay, so Chitresh is asking, may I know why meta tags is used in HTML files? So Chitresh, right? In short, the meta file just tells you the description of your HTML file. Right? So you have an HTML file, let's suppose, and it has some versions attached to it. It has some updates. It has some meaning attached to it, right? All the meanings, all the data, right? That is not required by the user. That is just there. It has to be present in order to work, right? That is called as a metadata, right? And meta tags are used for just as I told you, right? Just giving the data of an HTML version, right? Just telling you how is HTML, what are the version and what are the updates your HTML needs and things like that. Okay, चलो ठीक है sir. No reply coming. Oh yeah, so Khushi, if you haven't enrolled, please enroll in the bootcamp. If you do not know how to enroll, I'll just let you know in the later part of the video, in the later part of the lecture, how do we enroll, right? Okay. What is the difference between HTML and CSS? I mean, what if I ask you what is the similarity between HTML and CSS? I mean, there is no similarity between HTML and CSS, so there are all differences only, right? HTML is for boilerplate, and CSS is for styling a website with different colors, different animations, different text, adding images, right? Fonts and things like that. I'll cover the CSS part, right? So do not worry about that. All the queries that you have, it will be clear. Do not worry. Okay. So Khushi, for that matter, just take the screenshot of it again and just paste it in your Telegram channel. Team will get back to you. Do not worry about that. Okay. Yes, it is the skeleton of the web page, right? So yep, I hope everyone is ready for the session. So today we'll be starting off with divs, and then we will be covering. Just give me a second. Right, we'll be covering divs, we'll be covering forms, right? I hope you all know what forms are. You might have used it at some point of your lives, in order to submit some details, submit some information about a user or anything like that. We have forms for that. And then we'll be starting off with CSS. All right. Exactly, Saraswati. Yes. So CSS we use for styling, and HTML is used for the skeleton of the web page. It'll be clear to you. You'll have a much more clearer picture once you watch the recordings of today and tomorrow as well. So yeah. Sir, making a website, is it a part of digital marketing? Digital marketing something else, right? It's first of all, it is not related to tech. Digital marketing is something which even I am not sure about it, but yeah, we have digital marketing in our company, and it is much around, right, having involving social media and things like that. So it's not related to tech. Not worry about it until and unless you want to go into that field, then only. But there's no need for that in tech. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. So I think we have a huge number of audience now. I think it's time to get started, right? Uh, yes. So okay. Yep. Yep. Amit, the assignment will be there. It is there today. I'll let you know where are the assignments, right? Not worry about that. All right. Just give me a second. All right. Okay. So yes, let's get started with today's topics, right? And let me come to the first topic of the day. And acha, we did some tasks yesterday. I hope everyone has devised the yesterday's recording, right? We did image tag. We did the difference between a tag and an attribute. Very important interview question, very much asked in interviews, right? We did the extensions, we did some heading tags, we did some paragraph tag, and some basic details, right? Now today off we will be starting off with divs, right? By the way, div is also a tag, right? I'm so there are n number of tags in HTML, right? I'm just covering the most basic and the most widely used, because again it's only a 3 day bootcamp. I have to cover the most important things and the most widely used things that are used in the industry, right? So one of them is a div tag, right? One of them is a div tag. Now what is a div tag, right? So in simple words, right, a div, first of all, how it is represented by, like, it is, so any tag for that matter is represented by this div tag. All right. Now, so a div tag is an is just an empty container, empty container kind of space that can again contain many different tags, right? So then why do we need divs, right? A div is, so this is very important, a div is used in order to group different, sorry, in order to group similar types of div or divisions together. divisions divisions together, right? So all right. So this is what a div is, right? Why is a div used? Again, what is div and why is it used? So a div is just an empty container, right? I'll let you know. I'll just code it also. It is just an empty container. All right. Now, apart from that, what is the use of a div, right? So we have a div tag. Let's suppose we want to group, right? We want to group some different elements. Let's suppose I told you yesterday about h1 tags, right? The heading tags. And I also told you about I think the image tag, right? So let's suppose we want to apply common styling to both the image tag and let's suppose the heading tag, right? Then what will I do? In that case, I have to group those two divs in a single div, right? I have to group those two tags in a single space, and that space, right, that space is called a div. It just stands for a division, right? I hope you everyone knows what is the English meaning of division, right? Dividing with empty spaces, that's a division for you, right? So okay, right. So let's come to the VS Code part. All right, and yeah, here it is. So this, okay, this is React. Just give me a second, let me just change the folder. Let's scratch. Yeah. All right, so here it is, right? HTML and CSS, right? So this is a day one file that I made yesterday. Let me just make another file by the name of day2.html. By the way, I hope everyone now knows how to make uh, an HTML file, right? What is the extension for making HTML file? It is .html. All right. Now, so let me just make a boilerplate. So the shortcut for boilerplate is, again, I told you, it is in an exclamation mark. And how do we put exclamation mark? By just pressing shift and an exclamation key, right? Just press enter, you'll get the whole boilerplate here. All right. Now, after this, right? After this, now, I told you about div, right? So just I told you how do we make a div. So you have to just open this uh, crocodile mouth, or you can say a less than sign, right? Then you have to type in a keyword called as div that represents that represents a division here, and here you have a space. Okay. Now, acha, in this division, I told you about yesterday about the heading tag, right? So I can just type, I can a single div can have multiple tags. So let's suppose it is my requirement that I should have a heading here, right? So heading is just that, this is heading in div, right? Or I can say inside div. And apart from this, right, apart from this, I also have, let's suppose, another heading one that I also want to include in that div only. I can say this is heading 2. Okay. Now let's suppose I also want to have an image, so I can have an image as well, right? So what is the tag for image? It is img and source. Here you have to present the source of the file, right? So let me just come to Google, and let me just get any random source. Let me just get, I hope you must be fan of Virat Kohli. Let me just have an image of Virat Kohli and just let me just show you how it looks like. So, uh, okay. So let me have this one, right? This is India's New Jersey, I believe, right? I hope I have many cricket fans here. So, yes. So I'll just copy the image address, copy image. Yeah, copy the image address, and I'll just paste it right here. All right. And with this, please zoom it. All right, I'll zoom it. Is it fine now, Srishti? It should be, right? So, right, and let me just type in alt. I also told you what is alt tag used for, right? Alt is used for, let's suppose, if your this link gets corrupted, so this will be the alternate text that will be shown in that place. So Virat Kohli image, and let me just go live. How do we go live? We have an option to go live here. Just give me a second. I think you are a King fan. Yes, you can say. Right, so let me just go live, and I have gone live here. So this is a div, right? So okay, it'll make more sense to you once I apply a CSS. Okay, so let me just apply a common CSS for those of you who do not know CSS. Just ignore that part. I'll just come to that later on. Okay, right click and you will have a live server. Yeah, I think I also have here, but I just prefer it from using the bottom navbar. It's totally fine. It's just my habit to use there. All right. Okay. So I'll just apply common inline styling to let you know, right, what does it mean. So let me just apply border of 2 pixels solid, and no, not red. Yeah, hello red. Okay. And now see. So And also just give me a second. Image, let me just set the height and width to better understand, so that we better understand the part, right? We just have height as around 60 pixels, and also the width also as around 60 pixels or so. All right. And okay, we have a comma here, I think, or we have a semicolon. Yep. Okay. Now, so right, I told you what's a div, right? It's a division. Now, what do I mean by division? So in this one, right, in this one, now it should be more properly visible to you, right? So in this one, right, what do I have? I have multiple tags. I have a heading tag, right? I have another heading tag. I have an image, right? And this division, right? I can I have the advantage of having a common styling to all the divs, to all the contents, to all the tags that are present in that common div. Okay, let's suppose I want to have a background color. So I can just change the background color. So background color, let's suppose I want it to be right? So I can now let's see, right? So this whole division, right, this whole division has got a background color of whatever it is. I think, how do you pronounce it? I don't even know. It's beach kind of something, right? So my point here being is, right, what is a div used for? What is the purpose of div, right? It is just again emphasizing on that part. It is used to group all the tags together so that you can apply common styling, you can apply common fonts, you can apply common padding, common margin, everything in common, right? This is what we use for. All right, I hope the div part is clear. Any doubts so far, anyone? Meta means mari iri. I'm not sure what that means, but Harsh, right, we cannot, right? I think it only expects a text, but that's a nice question. Let's just try it out. Let me just try out this image instead. If that does not work, save, copy the image address, and after this let me just paste a link here, and let me just corrupt this link. Let's see what do we get it again. So as I told you, it only expects a text, not, we cannot have an image, right? So it is reading it as a text file, right? So all this link, it is reading as a text. We cannot have that. we only can have we only can have, what do you say, a text in that case. And that was a pretty good question, right? Well done. And that means that you're paying attention and you're getting into the depth of CSS, right? So that was all about this. Any doubts so far, guys? All this alternate text, yeah. Yes, Ritu. Yes, Ritu, assignment can be your own idea, yeah. So any doubts so far? Just let me know. At least just type yes or no in the chat box so that I can get to know. Akshay says, why we only use div tag, we use another tag or not to style the website. So Akshay, I haven't just yet touched the styling methods. I'll just come to that later on, but it was just to showcase the example of div, so don't worry, just wait. So how to clear the corrupt file? There is no way to clear a corrupt file, right? You just have to change the link, that's it. You're not that much of an engineer that you can check the correct file. Either you have to change the link or you have to just have it in an alternate text. No, Sakshi, we can not. It is not necessary to use an image from internet. If you want, you can have an image from your local computers as well, right? You have to, for that you have to import that image here in the file, and then you have to show the path of that image, right? That's how it will work. Uh, Do not worry, Rad JSK Gamer. By the way, just change, if possible, just try to come with your original username, right? Do not have so fancy usernames, but no, it is not. If you do not have a GitHub account, it's just totally fine. You can just share the assignments on Google Doc link as well, right? No. So Prasad says, what? How about we give Alt SRC? No, it won't work, right? SRC is the so SRC here stands for source, right? It expects a source, and what is the source? It's a kind of a link or kind of a an address of an image that you have to that has to be present there, not anything else. चल ठीक है. uh, Around 3. चलो ठीक है. Right. Now, with that being said, let's just come to the another part, right? Let's just come to forms, right? So again, what are forms? Why are forms used for? I hope everyone knows what are forms, right? How to upload an image from computer. So okay, it's pretty simple. Let me just see if I have an image. uh, uh, uh. So, okay, let me just get this image, right? Let me just copy it and let me just paste it in the desktop one. So let's just come here and let me just paste it in. We have inside LetsUpgrade, I have an image, right? So I've pasted an image here, right? Now I have to just use the address. So instead of this, right? Instead of this, I can have the source, right? And the source would be this JPEG. I need to just rename it. Yes, .png. Yep. So if I come here and just need to change it, so I have dot slash demo image.png. All right. And now if I come here, now you see my image this here, right? So you just have to provide the source, provide the path, just the address of that image, just import it. Not import, just bring it to that folder, the folder which you are working on, and just address that image, right? Just change that address of the image, and that's how you'll get that, right? I hope it's clear now. Sure. Okay. With that being said, right? With that being said, let's just come to another part, and that is forms. All right. So let me just give you, let me just show you a rough example of what a forms are, right? So you must have filled at least forms in some part of your life, right? And that's why we have forms. So a form is something like this. You have your details, you have your first name, last name, and things like that, right? So we have this made of HTML, right? So how do we make it? We have a form tag in that, right? We have a form tag in that. And what is that form tag? So I'll just show you. Let me just have a form here. So what is the tag? What is the tag? It's called form. This is how you start it. You can just ignore this action for now because you do not need it, right? And inside this, right? Thank you so much for clearing me. It's totally fine, Sakshi, no issues. Sir, can we write JS code to replace images? You can. Obviously, you can write some JS code, but right, but you have to have a JS knowledge for that, right? If you do not have it, you cannot, right? So right. So let me just show you, right? So you remember, right? We used to write inputs, and how do we write inputs to? How do we let the user take an input? So there's a specific tag for that, right? So I'll just write in name, and it will be an input tag, right? Now I'll just write an email ID, and that will be of type email, and I'll just write password, and that will be of type password, right? So what is an input, right? What is an input? So input means that it will let user to take inputs. It will let user to take inputs. And how will it let users to take inputs? By typing this tag that is called input, and it has various types, right? You can even set up what is the type of input that you're expecting from the user. Maybe it has to be a text, right? It has to be an email, or it has to be a password. There can be multiple form of inputs, or it can be a number, right? I can also share phone number, right? Phone number, and I can have, for that I have input type number. So input type is number, right? So again, so these are the ways to take input. Let me just show you the output. How do we get it? We get it something like this, right? I as a user, I have the ability to just type in some name. Again, so again, I have only set it to text. That means it will only allow text to have information there. So, and also numbers are a part of text, so it assumes number to be a part of text, so it will let you store anything. So let's suppose my name and email, right? It will an email. So what is the standard of an email? It has at the rate in some kind, right? So let's suppose my email name, right? @gmail.com, right? And this is my phone number. So it will allow phone number and this one, right? So it is only so as you can see here, I only gave a type of a number here. It will not allow any kinds of text to be there. So if I want to type any text here, right, I'm typing and it is not letting me type. I'm just pressing my keyboard, I'm just typing in AFDH. It is not allowing me to write text of any format here. All right. And this here password, again, so what is the password? Again, it is encrypted, right? So it is not visible. Whatever I type here, it will be in dots format, just like this, and things like that. All right, as simple as that. I hope you got it. So yes, that was pretty much about forms, right? I hope you all know what forms are and what are the tags that we use, right? So just see it. Okay, just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. Yeah, okay. So sorry for that, right? So okay, right. So this is all about forms, right? And so it also has got other attributes, right? And what are those attributes? Those attributes are like, you can also have label, right? Label is used to define the format, right? You can have label as name, and or let's suppose you have a label here and you can just type in let's suppose this is a form, right, using HTML, right, and things like that. So it'll just show up here like this. This is a form using HTML, and you can just also break if you want to. Just type in BR tag. It will just move to the next line, and this is how it will be visible to you, right? Again, so it is not looking beautiful. I know it needs to be. It has to have some CSS in order to style the divs, to just increase the width, to just decrease the width, to just have a password, right, to uh, make it more beautiful, to make it more cleaner. We have CSS for that, but right, I told you it's to just give you a skeleton, and this is what you have as far as the HTML is concerned, right? Sir, how to access the assignments? And I'll let you know, Vinay, not worry about that. Just be patient, right? I'll let you know after the end of the session, right? So I hope the form part is clear to you. Why do we use form, and what is the use, and how, what are the tags that are involved in making a form, right? I hope everyone knows what is input tag and what is the type used for. Type is again text, email. What the input should be, either it should be text, either it should be email, password, number, and things like that. It can be anything, and just things like that, right? So I hope it's properly understood. Just let me know yes or no. I'll just explain it to you. Can't we put name, email, password, and ID beside label? Yes, you can, right? You can. All right. Sir, in the end, you can give assignment, or you given it before. The assignment is already there. EXE Jod Gaming, right? The assignment is already there, right? So just I think the link is also provided to you just now. Just have a look. All right, now just let me know if it is clear or not. Okay, Outpal, clear. What about others, guys? Just type in yes or no in the chat box, at least, so that I can get to know. Anyone? Any doubts so far? Any doubts related to anything, right? Forms. Venkit says clear. What about others? Quick, guys. I'm expecting a response. Prabhat says yes. Akshay, clear. Okay. Mohammed Shava says no doubts. Jot Gaming, clear. What about others? I have a strength of almost around 160 and I only got 7-8 responses so far. Himanshu, clear. Okay. Kushal, okay. Harsh, okay. Yeah, Venkit, yeah, sure, we'll do that. Travel World, okay. You guys have unique names, right? Travel World. I can see some names like EXE, Jot Gaming. Chalo, nice. Black Partners, okay, that's also unique name. Path says not clear. Okay, so Path, what exactly is the doubt you're facing? Just let me know. Just let me know, Path, what exactly are you facing an issue with? That will help you clear it out. Don't worry. Chalo, ठीक है. Now, sir, please make a GitHub bootcamp. Chalo, let's see. Right. I think we already have a bootcamp that was taken. So if you want to just watch the recordings, just let me know. So if you just want to watch the recordings, just go onto the YouTube channel. Just go on to the Let's Upgrade YouTube channel, and you just see the Git and GitHub bootcamp right there also. So you'll just find it out. Okay. No issues, Amir. If you do not know how to use GitHub, not worry, do not worry. I'll just let you know. Right. I got you covered. Do not worry, right? If you do not know GitHub, just have a Google Doc file, just paste the code in the Google Doc file and just make sure that the link is accessible and just type the code there. Chalo, okay. Now we are done with the forms, right? Now let's just come to CSS again. The most interesting topic I could say, right? So let's come to CSS. So CSS, right? Right. So first of all, what is CSS, right? So I'll tell you the full form. First of all, it stands for cascading, CASCADING, cascading style sheets. Right now, what is CSS and why do we need CSS? So the HTML part you did so far, right? It was only to provide a basic website, only to provide a basic skeleton to your web page. Now, what comes the second part, right? The second part here is that you have to make your website good looking, right? So everyone, so not even website, like you as a human, you also want to be good looking, right? If you are a male or a female, right, you try to be good looking in every scenario is possible. So right, so the question that comes the question that comes here is like, why the website should not be beautiful, right? You have to also make websites beautiful. And similarly, just like how human beings, they just try to stay groomed, right? They apply some makeups, they apply some powders and whatnot. So similarly, in order to apply makeup to a website, you need a CSS, and that is cascading style sheets. You can apply, you can do whatever you want to. You can add colors, you can add fonts, you can add text, you can add whatnot things. I'm not even sure. It is very vast and it is very, very, very useful, right? In fact, any website without CSS is not considered a website nowadays, because it has to look appealing, right? As there's a quote, right? Jo dikhta hai wahi bikta hai, right? Whatever is seen, only that sells. So let's suppose you make a good website but it is not good looking, right? Will you even uh, be interested enough to just go through that website? No, you will not be, right? George Heming says male never try to look handsome. You guys are what's up? Chalo, ठीक है. Again, so there are three ways. So okay, I'll let you. It will help you, right, to add styling to the. Now what do I mean by styling in layman terms? Makeup, right? You have to look it more presentable, right? uh, More presentable, So it will help you add styling that is more presentable. It will help you look, it will help the website look more presentable, right? uh, to the web page, right? There are three ways you can add styling, right? Three ways to add styling, right? And what are those three ways? The first way that you have, it's called as uh, inline inline styling. The second one is internal, and the third one is external styling, right? I'll quickly cover how do we add inline styling, how do we add internal styling and external styling, plus what is the use, right? When to use inline, when to use internal, when to use external, and all things like that. So I do not believe in such theory. Let me just come to the implementation one and let's just show you, right? So for adding inline, right, as the name suggests inline, right? As the name suggests inline, this means that you have the ability to write the CSS in line with the tags. Now, what do I mean by in line with the tags, right? So let's suppose you have a div, right? And with this div, I have to add a styling, right? And that styling should be inline, right? There is an attribute for that. I told you what are attributes. I hope everyone remembers what are attributes. That's why I told you to revise yesterday's lecture if you're coming for today's lecture. Attribute will provide extra information about a particular tag. And what is the extra information that I want to have about this particular tag? It is just styling. I just want to add styling to it. So the attribute is style, and here I have the opportunity or the advantage of writing styles in line itself. So let's suppose I want to set the background color to be blue, or not blue to aqua, let's suppose, right? And the second styling, you have to just put a semicolon right there, right? And after that you can have another styling, right? And let's suppose I want to also add a border, and that should be 2 pixels solid, and it should be dotted instead of line, instead of solid, sorry, 2 pixels instead of solid, it should be dotted. Dotted means having dots like this, and it should be in let's suppose yellow color, or in let's suppose yellow green color. And when I come here, when I come here to this document, I have this applied right here. Okay, acha. Let me also have some margin and padding. So I'll tell you what are margins and what are paddings for now. But let me just write the code here. Let's suppose the margin or non-margin. Let's suppose I want to have the padding. Padding as 16 pixels maybe. Yeah, yeah. So here it is. I have the padding as 16 pixels, and I want to have it of, let's suppose, black in color, that it's much more visible to you, right? So here it is. Now what has just happened, right? I just have applied inline styling. So how do we apply inline styling? I'll just take a snapshot for this. Arey, do not worry about the assignment. I'll tell you, do not worry, just have patience, right? Chalo, okay. This is a type, right? So in order to add inline styling, right, mm, 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 right, okay. Now in order to add styling inline, you have to use this attribute, right? What is this attribute? Again, it just will tell you the style. After this, you have to have an equal to sign, and within double quotes you have to write what CSS you want to add, right? So there is a CSS of background color that will change the background color of the div. So you have to write this background hyphen color, and then you have to put in semicolons, right? These are the semicolons. Yeah, these are the semicolons, and after that you have to write the name. This is the first CSS property. After this, If you want to add another CSS property, you have to put a semicolon, and a semicolon is a dot, then a comma. After this, you have to write another CSS property, right? So this is a border, right? I have a div, and this div has a dotted border, something like this, right? Again, and this is another CSS property, and this is padding. Now, again, what is padding? So let me just introduce you to padding as well. So this is something, you have your page, and assume this to be a content, right? Now, padding is the space. Okay, just have it something like this. Yeah. Now, padding, right? Padding is the space between the margins and the content. So this is a margin and this is the content. So padding would be this space, right? This is a content. Let's suppose it can be anything content, something like my name is Ritik, I'm from LetsUpgrade, and things like that, right? This is the content. And what is margin, right? Margin is the space between the boundaries of the div and the body of the HTML tag. So let's assume this to be a body, and this will be a margin. Yes, so yeah, okay. So this is the difference between padding and margin. Now let me just come to another form of, so again, when do we use inline styling? So let's suppose you only have a div, you only have one or two tags that you want to apply styling to, right? In that case, you can prefer inline styling. But nowadays, not even nowadays, in fact earlier also, inline styling was never used. It is just used, let's suppose you forget some CSS property and you just want to check, right? You are just checking and you are just experimenting with your website. In that case, you can just use inline CSS, but it is not that widely used. The next one that we have that is used much more widely than inline, that is internal. That is, yes, I will teach all the stylings, do not worry, right? Just let me just go through the with the flow and with according to the syllabus, right? That is internal styling. Now, internal styling is also very simple. Now, let me just remove all the styling from here, right? Okay. Now, in order to add, just give me a yeah. In order to add internal styling, right, you have a keyword. Again, it is same, right? It is okay, Harsh. I'll tell you, right? I'll tell you. It is same. So let's suppose I have a style attribute here, and inside the style attributes, I have to mention which styling do I want to add. Let's suppose I want to add styling to a tag that is div, and that is background color of, again, of let's suppose aqua itself. So now if I come here, if I see this part, it has aqua color assigned to it. What different did I do? Again, I just used a style tag here in the core itself, right? I just have a style in that in this code here itself, and here you mention the properties. You can again have padding, let's suppose, yeah, padding of, let's suppose, 16 pixels again, and it will just work fine. You can just add n number of paddings that you want to add. It's totally worth it. Right now, this is all about internal styling. Okay. Where was the Excel dot? Yeah, here it is. Okay. Now, yeah, the the very interesting one, no, not interesting, the very this, let me just type in first, right? Yeah, I think the very widely used styling, that is called external styling, and this will be done, this will be used by you in every project that you make, right? You will not use inline, you will not use internal, you will just use external styling, because it is very easy to use, very easy to code, very easy to debug, right? You'll just have a same feeling once I do it for you. Yes, Venkat, I'll try to cover as many CSS properties as possible, right? But I'm not guaranteeing that each one of it will be covered because again, it's only a 3-hour bootcamp. I'll be covering the most important CSS properties. But yeah, I'll just give you the reference. You can just watch the reference and just you can get going and make your projects with that, right? Chalo, external styling. Now, in order to use external styling, first of all, you have to link it, right? You have to make another uh, here only you have to make another file. Let's suppose I'm naming it day2, and the extension for a CSS file is .css. Now, so at you need something to link it, right? You have to link your HTML and CSS. There has to be something that has to link it, and that is a link, right? You have to link it via this link. So you have to just write link ref. This is rel, that stands for relation or relative. It is common for each and every project that you make, but here is the name of the CSS file that you want to link. In my case, it is day2.html, so I'll just link day2. So in my case, it is day2.css, and I'll just link day2.css here. All right. So now, in that case, so I have a CSS file here, and I've also just linked it. Remember, you only have to link your CSS file inside the header tags, no other than that, right? You There's a specific reason attached for that also. I'll come to that reason part later, but just remember for now that the link tag should be present inside the header tags. And what is that? It is link, relation is style sheet, and the reference, I have to give the reference, right? Similarly, I just like I have source for image where I give the source, here I have the reference, and the reference is day2.css, just like this. All right, now I'll just come to day2.css and I'll just apply the styling. So it's very simple again. Just have to write the name div, just two curly brackets, just go on and write your CSS. You have a separate file for CSS. Your HTML and CSS are not now mixed. You can just go on and just code whatever. Let's suppose I'm giving it background color of aqua, I'm giving it some padding of around 16 pixels, I'm giving it some border radius of around 15%, right? Something like this. I'm giving it a border of 2 pixels, solid black. And what else can I give? Venkat, we have selectors for that. That will be covering tomorrow. If you want to do that, that is done with the help of selector. So you have an ID selector, you have you got a class selector, and things like that. All right. Chalo. I think so. I can have some height as well. Let's suppose height of around 60 pixels, and width also of around 60 pixels, right? Now if I come here, if I see this, I will have, okay, so this is very screwed up. Let me just increase the height to auto, and the width also to auto, right? Now it's fine, right? So yep, here it is, right? So this is how you apply what do you say, external styling. Why is it used again? So why is external styling used a lot? Because again, it's a different file for altogether for the CSS part. Your code will not be clustered now. Any bugs you get, any things you get, you know where to target the files, you have the files already in front of you, right? So this is much more cleaner, this is much more I would say easier to use, right? And you can just you can just see, right, how cleaner it is. I have the separate file for HTML and I have the separate file for CSS, right? But remember, you have to link it, and this is done by this link, right? So it is link referral style sheet, and the reference is the day2.css. All right. Now many people were asking about the assignment search, so I'll tell you how to submit the assignments now. So you just go onto the website, the link is there in the description box. All right. Acha, for those of you, I think there was someone who was not who had not enrolled in the course. So just scroll to the bottom of the page. You'll see this HTML and CSS bootcamp and an option here to enroll. All right. Just click on enroll now, and with that you will be enrolled in that program. And after that, just come here to my program section, and this will be the HTML and CSS essential bootcamp. Just click here, right? So today is day 2, right? Today is day 2, and yep, here it is. So today is day 2, adding CSS. So there are two options here, right? The first one is mark the attendance, and the second one is submit the assignment. So first you have to just mark the attendance from here. How likely are you to recommend? So please give your ratings. If you really feel that it is going great, just type in 10. Which premium programs are you most interested in? So we currently have 2 premium programs, full stack and the Java. I'll just come to that and just write nothing for now and just submit the assignments. All right. If I just refresh it, right, just see the percentage, it will just get increased to 46.15%, right? That simply means that once this bar crosses 50%, then only you'll be eligible for certificates and not before that. So now $1,000,000 question, right? How do we submit the assignment? So you see an option here to just below the mark attendance that says submit the assignment. Just click on submit the assignment right here. Just read the question from it. Just I have to add a background color to a page, right? And either you have to submit a GitHub link or you can submit a Google Doc link. No issues, Amir. If you do not know how to use GitHub, just go on to Google Doc. Just write the code in Google Doc file and upload the Google Doc file link here. I think that answers the question, right? It does, right? So yes, here it is. You have to do that. Okay, so Akshay has a question. I think I skipped that. He says, "Sir, we use padding in a div tag and give background color red. So my question is, only div will be red, or div plus padding both will be red?" So Akshay, in that case, only div will be red because padding, right? Padding is the space that you leave behind. So it will just shrink inside. So let me just show you. In this case, right, this is a padding somewhere here. So it will not have any CSS properties, only the div, right? After shrinking, after applying padding, whatever space is left now, only that will have the CSS. I hope that answers your question, Akshay, right? Okay, so this is how you submit the assignment. I hope submitting the assignment part is clear now. Now you do not have any doubts in submission of the assignment, right? Is it? So just go on the website, just click on submit assignments and just submit your assignment right there and just click on submit, right? Now, we have 2 present courses going on. So the first one is the Java DSA and the second one is the full stack again. So most of you are asking about the CSS properties, about learning IMDET. So if you're really thinking that you have to just master all the things, right, you have to have a full stack. You just can opt for full stack development course as well. It will consist of backend and front end, both the part. It will have extensive, if you're really serious about pursuing if you're really serious about pursuing a career in tech, right, just you can just go on for that. It will have a placement assistance guarantee as well. It will have a placement support, plus you also have a Java and DSA program, right? Again, it has 100 plus lives of problem solving, 120 plus hours of live learning, and you have an assurity to get placed within within 180 days. So if you just see the details right here, it says that you get an placement assurity. All right, so the fees is around 5,900 and the batches are starting on 19th of June, 19th of August, right? So just see if you're interested, just go on for that and just let the team know. They'll get back to you. All right. Now the next thing is the B.Tech courses. So if you're really interested on the B.Tech courses, just go on to YouTube and you'll see, just type in LetsUpgrade. Right. Yep, this is day 2, right? ठीक है. You have a link somewhere here about the B.Tech program. So if you're someone who's looking for pursuing B.Tech, you can who is still in the 12th grade, or who's a dropper and who's looking for pursuing B.Tech, so you just can try out this option as well, right? How is it different from the other B.Tech programs? Here you get a placement assurity, and that too of a minimum of 8 lakhs per annum, plus you get paid internship opportunities in your final year as well, right? So you can uh, use it if you want to. You can, if you want to pursue a tech career, you are really serious about that, just go ahead. I just get in touch with the team, they'll get back to you. You have all the details here in the website, just go through that, right? All the questions have been answered, the curriculum, the instructors, the internship assignments, mentorship, all the things I mentioned here. Just go through it, and just if you feel you're interested, just let the team know, they'll surely get back to you, right? And we also have a referral link, right, for those of you who are interested, who are not interested but have some cousins or friends who might be willing to join the B.Tech program, right? Some cousins or any neighbor or someone, right? Just share them this link, and if they join via referral link, they not they you will get rupees 80,000, or you can even get a MacBook Air 1. It's totally up to you which option you choose, provided that they should just join via referral link, right? So yes, here it is, right? Sir, please provide a Hindi lecture. Mohit, so these lectures are in English only, right? So it has dual benefits. First of all, if you're not good with English, it will help you increase your communication skills. The second part is that all the interviews that happen, right, they are in English as well. So you have to just have a habit of speaking in English and answering questions in English, and you have to just explain the concept in English as well if you want to ace the interview. So just make sure that you are having a good command over English, be it your communication skills, be your technical skills, it has to be there, right? So yeah. Okay, so Utpal says no sir, padding will be colored, margin will be not be search in a code, you have done it. Utpal, okay, I'm not sure about that. So I'll confirm this and let you know, right? Sir, can you provide any notes? What notes are you referring to? So if you are talking about these notes, I'm not sure if I'll be able to provide them because I have all the things here in front of me. But it's always a good thing to make your own notes, right? So just watch the recordings, just make your own notes, and just take the reference for them also. Plus, if you want to have any notes, they are just you can go to W3 schools, you can go to MDN docs, right? All the things will be present here. So W3 schools HTML. So you'll have all the links here. So tutorial, everything you'll have there. So you can just see if you want to make notes, and you can be much more prepared for that. All right, sir, time to submit the assignment. It's still tomorrow. It's still tomorrow 7:30, right? So yes. Chalo, any other doubts you have? Yeah, MDN and W3 schools both are good enough. You can, the notepad पर कर सकते हैं मोहित. You can do it on notepad, but provided you have to, but it should have a accessible link, and the link should be visible to the public. So make sure it is, and then you can submit that as well. All right. Got it. Any other doubts? चलो ठीक है. So with that being said, that was all for today, right? I please just revise today's today's lecture and yesterday's lecture if you have not, and we'll meet tomorrow with the same energy, right? Please make sure that you're coding. Again, I'm just giving a more very much emphasis on that, right? Please make sure that you nice wallpaper. All right. You're talking about the LetsUpgrade wallpaper or my desktop wallpaper? I'm not sure, but yeah, thanks for that anyway. So okay, with that being said, I'll just take a leave and we'll meet tomorrow at the same time, right? Chalo. Bye everyone.